Silver is gunning for $100 an ounce. We just breached $92 an ounce earlier today. Today is January 15th, 2026. And there was another huge dump from, I want to say, $92, $93 down to $88 an ounce on the futures prices. I don't really follow the spot price. I follow the futures contract pricing. So silver took a dump from about 92 in the early morning session to $88. It has since recovered and is back up at 92. I believe we had an all-time high of $93 an ounce. And I think it's a foregone conclusion that we will see $100 an ounce silver before the end of the month. Okay, the COMEX manipulation tactics are not working. As a matter of fact, imagine where silver would be if it weren't for the constant repricing and rebalancing of margin. More recently, the Commodities and Futures Exchange Commission allowed and the COMEX, they've allowed the margin requirements to change from a static dollar amount, right? It used to be in the mid 20,000s, then it's up to the 30,000s and then the 40,000s. Now it's 50,000, 53,000 per contract for margin for a single contract. What is that? And the change that they made was that the margin requirement is no longer a dollar amount. It's a percentage of the notional value of a contract. So if, let's say, for example, one contract of silver had a notional value of $100,000 and the margin requirement was just $5,000. That $5,000 would be the same even if the notional value of silver went up to $200,000. But with this percentage base margin requirement, that same $100,000 would now require you to have a margin balance of $9,000. Okay, so almost double the prior amount. And if the notional value of silver per contract went up to $200,000, you would now need a margin balance of $18,000 in your bank account, in your portfolio, or in your brokerage account. So a trailing percentage requirement of the notional value of the futures contracts is the latest trick in their book. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next, let's say, 6 months, within this quarter, on top of having a trailing percentage, they would also add another physical dollar amount that they would change at their discretion. I mean, at this point, it would not surprise me. They've attempted to manipulate the price of silver for so long, and these recent attempts have been so brazen and so embarrassing that they're desperate to help. They're shorts, they're desperate to control the price. They'll do anything at this point to make sure that silver becomes unobtainium. So continue to stack, do not sell, hold your silver, hold your physical silver. If you want to trade the paper contracts, just be forewarned, they will continue to manipulate the prices of silvers and the contract agreements to make sure you hold as few contracts as possible to make potential delivery on those contracts nearly impossible, because they don't have the silver. I think that's the elephant in the room, is they don't have the silver. So they're going to try to price you out on a dollar amount to make sure they don't have to deliver on their promises for that silver. So keep stacking, and good luck, gentlemen and ladies.